There's some things in this that I've never talked about. I've never actually told anybody. I was about this close to like actually crying in the first one. I don't like to cry in front of people, so self-love is a hard journey. It's not easy. I was about to give up. I was about to drop out, making a lot of bad choices, abusing substances, drinking alcohol. God said to love your enemies, so I obeyed and decided to love myself. Welcome back. I just recorded the whole episode just to find out that it didn't record. If you're new here, my name is Kayla Olson, and welcome to the CarCast. I'm a big advocate for mental health because I have dealt with a lot of mental health issues. If you're new here, hello. If you're coming back, welcome back. I moved again. So my life's just been kind of crazy. The sun is beating right now. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about a quote that I saw one day. I love this quote. It really touched home for me. I also shared it with my sister, and it really hit home for her as well. So I think it might reach whoever needs to hear it. We're going to break it down a little bit as well. The quote quotes, God said to love your enemies, so I obeyed and decided to love myself. Normally I only hear the first part of that quote, love your enemies. That's what I have heard before. So I'm like, oh, okay, this person who did me wrong, I'm going to send them all my love, I wish you the best, no hard feelings, thank you, next. Maybe somebody that you don't like, maybe somebody that did you dirty, whatever. All these external enemies, that's what I thought of. I'm like, okay, send them off with love, But hearing that second part, so I decided to love myself, I was like, whoa. It actually blew my mind. But I think it's so true. We can really be our biggest enemies. We can be our biggest critics. We can be so hard on ourselves. And I wanted to kind of break down a few reasons why I think self-love is a hard journey. It's not easy. And some tips that can hopefully help you on your journey of loving yourself. I think the first one starts in school. I have a bone to pick with the school system. I don't think they teach you anything about self-love. I don't think they teach you anything about self-care, anything about mental health. At least from what I remember, it was never a priority. Even when I was in high school and going through a really hard time, there was visible signs of poor mental health. I would skip class. I would cry during class. I would be in the back and I would just be by myself, and I just couldn't hold it together. There was one teacher that cared. She would let me go in her supply room. There was just like a lot of supplies in there. There was a lot of space. She would put a desk in there for me so that I could be by myself because I felt embarrassed to be at school. And because of how my mental health was, I didn't want to go to school. I was making a lot of bad choices. I was abusing substances. I was drinking alcohol. I was skipping school. And because I skipped so many classes, I got behind on homework. So then I felt like I couldn't catch up. I couldn't catch a break from anything from my brain. It was just a very rough time. Bless her heart. Because that was so helpful for me. Even though that seems like, I don't know, seems weird. Even like saying it out loud, I'm like, she would basically put me in a closet by myself. I don't like to cry in front of people, so if I couldn't hold myself together during class, makes sense. Loved her for that. When I went to my public school, I was getting like straight F's. I was not showing up for class. I was not passing classes. I was not doing good. I was cheating on all my homework. I was basically high for my whole entire high school career. When I was able to go to an alternative school, I went to summer school, I got extra credits, I did packets. That school really changed my life because they care about their students. They care about how you are, how your mental health is. They care about what's going on in your family. If you need help, they have resources. They had very small classes, so it was very like a personal experience. They just cared, and that was so nice. I don't know if anybody knew that I was struggling. It didn't feel like it. It felt like I was completely alone. And when I went to an alternative school, I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt like people understood me. I wasn't getting made fun of. Like I wasn't left out. People cared about me. And I felt like I had a chance. Like I could graduate. At public school, I was about to give up. I was about to drop out, say I failed, didn't make it, but I did. Graduated early. I got straight A's. It's such a hopeful experience going there. Yeah, number one, the school system does not teach you how to take care of your mental health, how to check your mental health. They don't provide very many resources. They don't talk about self-love, self-care. That's number one. Number two, for me growing up, I was a big people pleaser. I would do anything for somebody else before I did anything for myself. Everybody came first except for myself. I was not putting my health first. I was not putting my feelings first. It was everyone else before me. To an extent, I think that's good because there's like selfishness and there's self-love. So take that as you will. Growing up, I was performing a lot. I love to be on stage. I love to perform. I think I picked up a belief that I have to perform well to be loved. And if I don't perform well, if I don't do a good enough job, then I am not lovable and I will not be loved and I failed. That's something that I picked up that I have unlearned. So yeah, putting your feelings first and making sure that you are loving yourself so that you have extra love to give to other people is very important. That kind of plays into number three, comparison. We've all heard the wonderful quote that comparison is the thief of joy. I 100% agree with this. This is actually like a big thing that I wouldn't say I struggle with, but I'm constantly trying to do better with, is not comparing myself to other people. Not comparing my achievements, what I do, status, materialistic possessions, how my body looks, my hair, my skin color. There's so many things that we can compare to other people. We are all so completely different. We are all unique. Like no two people are the same. It's like impossible to live up to an expectation if you're comparing somebody else. Like, oh, like I want what they have. You're not going to have it because everybody's so different. It's also good to remember, there was another quote that I saw. Flowers are beautiful and sunsets are beautiful. It doesn't take away one of the other's beauty. They're just both beautiful in themselves. Being able to see the beauty within ourselves, being able to see our value, that you are enough just as you are. A big part of the journey of self-love is not comparing yourself to other people, not comparing your progress to other people, because it is all completely different. Comparison brings me to social media. I think it's very easy to compare ourselves when we have so much access every single day to other people's lives. How they look, how they live, what they do, their relationships, who they're with. It's so easy to compare everything with social media nowadays. Not only do we compare what others have on social media, you're only seeing the best parts of them. You're comparing everything that you have, all the good and all the bad, to only their good. There are a few influencers out there that are pretty good about showing the bad sides, the ugly sides, the not so good parts, the struggles. I think we're stepping into a great movement with that. I do this too. Like it's hard seeing other people with something that you wish you had, but that is taking away value from what you already have. The best way to combat comparison, especially with social media, is just being grateful. Being grateful for what you have currently. Being grateful for what you've been able to get through. Being grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive. Grateful to be breathing. Have an attitude of gratitude. Sometimes it can be hard. If you notice yourself going into a spiral, if you can stop yourself and be aware and just start to name things that you're grateful for, I think it'll help you feel better. And with that, number 5, we are living with ourselves every day. You have yourself for the rest of your life. We are constantly seeing all of the bad things that we do. We also get to see the good things that we do. We see all of our thoughts that pass by, intrusive thoughts, negative thoughts, scary thoughts, angry thoughts. Like we are seeing all of it within ourselves. Like in high school, I went through a phase. Basically all of high school. I was that girl that would like have a hood on, walk with her head down. I was always getting in trouble. I was sloughing school a lot, substance abuse, drinking alcohol. My mental health and the self-love that I had for myself was very low. I have experienced self-harm. I have experienced suicidal attempts. And I don't talk about this because I don't want anyone to feel bad for me. I don't want attention for this. If somebody needs to hear this, I want you to feel like you're not alone. I want you to feel like you're not crazy, because when I was dealing with this, I thought I was crazy because everybody looked so happy and everybody looked like everything was perfect and everyone's life is so good. And why do I feel like this? I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I didn't know how to cope with my emotions. I didn't know how to handle them. I'm so grateful that I woke up after that. I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm grateful every day, even though every day is not easy. Just know, if you're dealing with that, you're not alone. You're not crazy. I just want you to have hope that it gets better. The future is bright. You can always feel free to reach out. You can DM me or comment below, and I'll reach out if anybody needs it. Also, something that I like to do, this might sound so silly. If you don't have anyone to hug, give yourself a hug, like this. You can give yourself a hug. I still do that very often whenever I don't feel so good. And it usually helps. You get to live your life with yourself every day. So make it a good relationship. I also think love isn't just like a feeling. You're not just going to feel like, oh my gosh, I love myself so much. This is so amazing. Like, it's not rainbows and sunshine. Not every day, at least. Some days I'll be waking up, I'll be feeling myself. But love is an action. However you want to express love to yourself, just do it with love. I've gone through a mindset where I want to go to the gym because I don't like how I look. I want to eat better because I don't like how I look. I want to change something. I want to change something because I don't like the way I am. I would love if you could shift that mindset with me into, I love myself so much, so I'm going to move my body today. I love myself so much, so I'm going to eat something that's nutritious for me. I love myself so much that I'm going to shower and get ready and go on a walk. Just be more mindful about your actions. Act with love for yourself. You get to spend the rest of your life with yourself, and you get to spend the rest of your life in here. So I would start up here. If you can make this a good place, you can live a good life. I hope this helped somebody. I want this to be hopeful and empowering and awareness for mental health. To know that it is a big thing that I think a lot of us struggle with. And I think it can be easy to struggle in silence. If you need help, if you need to talk to anybody, please don't be silent. I'm here if you'd like to talk. Or if you guys want to know anything more about it, I would love to help. I love you guys. And I hope it recorded, because the first one, there's some things in this that I've never talked about. I've never actually told anybody. That was a lot. I do this because I know what it's like to struggle with mental health. I know what it's like to not love yourself. I know what it's like to be at the bottom in your mind. And it is not fun. It's not easy. I want you to know that you're not alone. If you guys have any topics that you want me to talk about, feel free to leave them down below. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok. You can DM me if you need somebody to talk to. I want to do this for you guys. I love you. Have a beautiful day. See you next time.